All right. This ain't just a show. This is a platform. Veteran built, battle tested. Welcome to the Misfit Nation. Yeah! In a room, built from boots on the ground, now we breaking the rules. 2 vets, 1 leader, painting the sound, turn scars into sermons, let them echo around. Artists with truth, musicians with fire, actors backstage chasing something higher. Entrepreneurs bleeding just to get ahead. If you fought for your dream, yeah, you are what you said. If they told you no, if you still came back, if you fell to your knees but you stayed on track, this is your voice, this is your flame. Say it loud, remember the name. No salvation, just elevation. We rise again. From the fight to the end. We are the Misfit Nation. No damn labels, no damn cages. If you're still breathing, you belong. Turn it up, this is our song. Yeah, this is our song. Yeah. Veterans standing with ghosts in the chest. First responders running in while the world second guess. Gold star names carved deep in the soul. Your story ain't over, we carry the whole. Coaches teaching mindset, breaking the chains, turning barely alive into owning the pain. Truth over polish, scars on display. If it's real, let it bleed, that's the misfit play. If it's heavy right now, and the dark feels cold. If it's heavy right now, and the dark feels cold. If it's heavy right now, and the dark feels cold. It's Aubrey right now, we're the more than you know. Don't walk alone. Veterans press 1, bring it home. Don't trade forever for tonight. You're still needed in this fight. We're the Misfit Nation, built from scars and dedication. We rise again. From the fight to the end. We are the Misfit Nation. Every voice is fabrication. From the silence to the scream, we're strong. Welcome home, you belong.
Misfit Nation, welcome back to the Sunday after dinner edition. It's great to have you here. I know there's plenty of things you could be doing on a Sunday night, like relaxing, spending time with family, maybe watching some WNBA. Since NASCAR is over for the day, the Wreck Fest at Dover is done for the day. So thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Remember, this Saturday, 1500, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time for you non-military, we will be live with a special event, the book release for TJ Baird's Warrior Dad Stories. He'll be in Lawton, Oklahoma at Southwest Oklahoma Brewery. I'll be live in Studio A broadcasting it to the world to show the release of our brother's book as he goes live. And maybe you'll hear some readings, maybe you'll see some great guests there, and you'll be able to call in through our show to ask him questions. But tonight, our episode is about something bigger than podcasts, bigger than organizations, and bigger than names on shirts. It's about showing up for people when they need it most. Our guest tonight, Albert Woodin, is a Desert Storm veteran, Air Force Security Forces member, and one of the driving forces behind SAVE22 Vet, an organization built around one mission, making sure veterans and first responders know they are not alone. What started as one back porch conversation with 2 Marine buddies in 2015 turned into thousands of conversations, countless lives impacted, and movement focused on camaraderie, peer support, diversion therapy, and real connection. The conversation is raw, it's honest, and it's about purpose after service, leadership through action, and why community still matters. This is the Misfit Nation. So let's get after it. Welcome, Albert. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me on.
It's great to have you here. We had a good talk in the green room there. We caught up a little bit. We didn't even make fun of each other for Air Force and Army much. We did good in
Not
there.
much.
So we'll keep that for out here. So Albert, I gave the 2 cents thing about you here. Let's learn a little bit more about SAVE22, and then we'll go back to your career later.
Okay. Yeah. So SAVE22, like you mentioned, 2 Marines on a Marine Corps birthday. They were actually at a Marine Corps ball, and they kind of looked at each other and just was like, "Hey, what if let's just go for a walk, man? Let's go for a walk and talk." So they decided to do that. I get a phone call from Jason. Jason's I've known Jason forever. Jason's like, "Man, you need to get to the house." Nah, I don't want to come over, man. Like, I'm good. I'll sit here on my back porch and isolate and self-loathe and do all the things, right? And finally he's like, "No, get your butt over here." So I go over and we sit on the back porch, and there's Marcia, and Nick. So there's 5 of us sitting there, and Tom, he's like, "Why don't we just go for a walk, man? Just see how it feels, right?" So we sat on the back porch and just had a conversation, and we started getting into each other's feels, and you know how it goes, man. 3 hours later, there we are crying and hugging and laughing on each other. And that moment felt so real, right? And we're like, man, if this feels so good this way, let's just try it. Let's just see what happens. So we decided to have a hike, and we had 1,300 people show up.
Oh, wow.
We were, so for context, the town we had it in, it's a small rural farming town. Not a lot of action. So when you have 1,800 people show up, you are pushing the limits of the village, right? So it was kind of cool that all those people showed up, and we said, hey, we really need to get our nonprofit if we're going to do this and start collecting, donations and money, because we didn't have a clue what we were doing. So we're the epitome of an accidental nonprofit. That is us, 100%. So we immediately jumped into the paperwork, made sure we're good with the state, did all the things you have to do. And that was in 2015, and still going strong, man. We just did our 10-year hike this first Saturday in May. It should have been our 11th year, but because of COVID and all that, we weren't allowed to hike. So we did our 10-year hike this past year, which is actually our 11th year doing, suicide prevention. So it's kind of where that started. And then we started doing some motorsports stuff, with Lex June and Mike Harmon is how it started in NASCAR. And, we just kept building relationships with people. And next thing you know, we're doing fishing trips, we're doing hikes, we're doing art therapy. We're taking, people to music festivals just to making sure that no veteran or first responder, or any of their family is felt that they're not seen, heard, or important. That was our drive, right? Seeing your friends and some of us family members commit suicide, or not thinking that there's no other way, man. Like, I'm so alone that nobody else can feel this way. It's impossible. And I can assure you that you're not alone. I promise you, you're not.
And that's definitely something we preach here. I don't know if you've watched how many shows you watched of us. At the end of the show, for me, for the Tuesday cruise, usually between midway through the end, we both say the same things in different sentences, but you're not alone. Tomorrow's better with you than it is without you. Don't make that permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Right.
And we understand that temporary problem may feel like the world is on your shoulders, and it may sound condescending to say it's a temporary problem. But if you look at the whole aspect of it, it is temporary, and you can fight through this. You have a village around you.
Right. And watching so many veterans come through our programs, it is truly life-changing. It's humbling, it's motivation, it's a sense of purpose, right? You see these vets come in and they'll do the arms crossed, don't want to talk, stand in the back. And man, as soon as one of those cars click off and they smell that fuel or smell it's like an instant smile. It's like you can physically see the shoulders drop. It's like weight just comes off. We did 4 fishing trips. We just finished up Thursday afternoon. So we did 4 half-day trips with 16 vets total, and every time those vets come off the boat and you're standing there at the dock and you see them, you see when they go and you see when they come back. And they don't see it in themselves, but we see it when they're coming at us, right? They're hugging, they're slapping on each other. They're texting each other. They have these groups set up now. They're keeping it. So you're building those foundations to keep these individuals moving forward, right? Showing them there's 16 of you right here that just did it. So if those 16 of you can do it, we can all do it. You just got to be willing to open up, man, and take that first step. I'll run to the door for you. I will. I'll kick the thing down, but I'm not walking through it for you. I'm not. I will take you all the way there, but you got to do it.
You gotta have the want. You gotta have the want.
Yes, sir.
And that's the hardest part for this whole 22 issue is
Right.
people need to understand that they have to want to get help. And if no matter how many push-ups you do, how many hikes you do, how many fishing trips you do, if Joe or Josephine don't come forward and say, I want that help, there's not a lot you can do without shaking them and saying, hey, tell us what you need or tell me you want
Right.
this. So
Right. Yeah. And I loved what you said earlier too, about the names on the shirt, the hat, whatever, the stickers. I can tell you that's one of our biggest things with SAVE22 is we don't care whose name's on the shirt, the hat, the sticker, whatever. If you're truly doing things to help veterans and first responders and their families be successful, bro, that's all I want to see. I'm tired of reading and hearing about friends not being around anymore because they didn't think there were options.
and even if you just go on to social media, you'll see at least once a week, you'll see a brother or a sister post something about someone they served with or someone they knew in their community that
Right.
is no longer with us because of this issue. And
Right.
we're always shocked that someone does it, but we're not shocked after because then we say, oh yeah, they probably didn't ask for help, but we should have been calling them.
Right.
But it goes both ways in that situation. We all need to be better about calling our circle, but our circle needs to be better about calling back as well.
Right, right. And that's, it's hard because again, we're an all volunteer
Right.
workforce. Like nobody takes a paycheck. We're all busy. We all have lives, trying to answer those calls when they come in, and I'll be honest, sometimes you miss one or two here and there, right? You just do. And, then you get another message of this person struggling. Like, man, how'd I miss that? I need to call them, right? And you reach out, and then you got to kind of work through all that. And it just complicates things, and like you said, we just need to do better jobs of checking on each other. That's it. It's that simple.
Yeah, it definitely comes down to our tribes, and we've all learned tribal mentality by being in the service. U.S.
Right.
Security Forces, that's a tight knit group in the Air Force because you're kind of like in
Right.
the Air Force. That's like the ones everyone hates in the Air Force, is security forces.
Right. Yeah.
You're kind of like
Yeah.
the grunts without not minus the PJs. You're the grunts, and
Right.
you're also the ones that go and give them tickets or arrest them or whatever. So they hate you. And
Yeah.
to put it
Yeah.
like,
We're not well liked. We weren't,
that's
I
your
should
tribe
say.
is that circle that is the badge is your tribe. And I seen it when I was stationed on Kunsan Air Base. The security forces there were like their own little element. They did their own little
Right.
clique together. Then you had the air wing guys, then the CE guys, and it was all different cliques. And that was their tribe. And for us, we were all go Army guys. So everyone was just Army, hoorah, go, and hey, we're all one tribe until you hate each other later. But
Right.
when
Right.
it came
Yeah.
down to it, we were all one against the Air Force.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Part of, my service is, I went to Lackland and I stayed there for my tech school, and then I ended up staying there for hand to hand and air base ground defense. And I get my orders, and I'm reporting to a Marine gunny, and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for this crap,
Just
right? Yeah, I'm like, hold on, like, and I walk in, and you've got your bags and everything. I'm like, gunny, I really don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. He's like, just calm down. We'll get everybody checked in. He goes, you're early, and I'm like, all right. So that was kind of a unique experience, training with them. Then we went to Fort Dix and trained with Army. We did 8-day and 12-day bivouacs with them, and we did it in December, which was phenomenal. It was outstanding. I loved it.
Get it. Yeah, I can tell it in your voice.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I left there and went to Tucson, Arizona, Davis Mothans, where I spent my time. So it was kind of cool. Like you said, training with other branches and seeing what everybody was about. And, at the end of the day, we're going to harass the snot out of each other. We are.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it and you're getting scuds dropped on you and things are happening, y'all are training the same and y'all work together. It's just the way it is.
The mission all becomes everyone come home. That's the mission.
Yep.
And then when
Absolutely.
we come home, it's the mission of like SAVE22 to make sure everyone stays home and everyone
Right.
doesn't wind up in that darkness that we talk about here. And
Right.
have you had, you guys been in service doing this in 2015, so I'm sure you have some good stories about things. And without saying names, just throw out a good story, good news story.
Yeah. So we've had several individuals that we've, worked with. And some of these individuals, the one that sticks out in my head the most is Air Force intel guy. And he was going to just disappear. Just go to the Keys and blend in and just literally disappear. And he had the means and knowledge to do it. He really did. worked with another organization, ended up intercepting him in Savannah, Georgia through a 3-letter agency that we had a friend in that helped. And he got off the bus and he's like, hey, and he's like, okay, what's going on here? And they talked a little bit. And I told him, I said, look, here's your 2 options. My buddy and I will drive you to the Keys if that's where you really want to go. However, you're going to contact your family.
Yeah.
Or option B, we'll take you home. We'll drive you back home, which was a 12-hour drive the other way. And he chose to go home. So we drove him home and got back with his fiance at the time. They now have 2 little boys, full-time job. And now he's running for veteran affairs in the state that he's in his district. He's going to be serving on some sort of panel through the county as not a VSO, but as a veteran liaison. So that's one of the good ones, you know, that's one of the good ones you hear.
Heck yeah, that's a real good one right there.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that really stick out. And then, you know, there's literally hundreds of ones that same thing. You know, you give them just a little hand up instead of a handout. They work through it. They do what they need to do. They come back, they fall, you pick them up, you give them the guidance. Next thing you know, these guys and gals are getting, you know, their VA benefits. They're getting that check. They're putting the drinks down. They're putting the pills down. And their life just changes. And there's many of those as well, you know, and that's what makes me grateful is when you get the feedback or you see these guys and gals show up at your hike every year, year after year after year, and they keep coming back and keep coming back because they want to see you and thank you. Yeah. And again, it's humbling, man. It is. It's a good feeling. And, you know, the sense of purpose just is what it's about, right? It's so easy to lose that and to have a mission every day, to have something to get up to. Okay, I got to do this, and this every day. And that just gets your day started, and that keeps you motivated, and you just keep moving and keep pushing.
Heck yeah. And you said something awesome in there right in the middle about hand up, not hand out. And that's something I say all the time. And a lot of my circle says the same thing. We'll give every veteran we know, every first responder we know a hand up. We're not going to give you a handout. You got to work for everything you get. And we'll give you the hand up and point you in that right direction. Kind of like you said with the door earlier.
Right.
We'll point you, we'll click you, and we'll make sure you get there. But you have to want to do the work. You got to put in the work and like put down the drinks, put down whatever's your vice that's really handcuffing you or numbing you. The thing that's you the most, you got to ease away from that and find something else. Find that purpose. Like you get to do this every day to help brothers and sisters that are going through this. So that's a purpose for you. That's purpose for your whole organization.
Right.
Helping them find their purpose, their why, the why to wake up every day and get to do things. That's got to be an amazing feeling.
It is when it's going well.
Yes.
You know, and we all have the dips. We do. And unfortunately, you're not going to save everybody. You're just not. That's the reality, the harsh reality of what we do. It's just the world we live in. But, you know, the ones you can help and hopefully they spread the word to somebody else. They get motivated enough to jump in and help. And we've had a few of those stories too, where people that we've helped now want to stick around and help others. So in the background, you know, we have a pretty good advocate system in the background too. So I'd be remiss to say that it's just, you know, 5 or 6 of us doing all this. It's not. It's a small little army behind us of, you know, volunteers and advocates that push out and step up when we need it. So it's cool to have that.
Definitely. And during your now 8 years, 9 years now, have you 11 years? Sorry, thank math batting.
There's that Army thing. Whoops.
It's the Army thing. See, I didn't have an abacus in front of me. I couldn't do it.
Right.
But during these 11 years, golly, that was bad. But have you guys started like a peer support group with those who have like alumni from your organization?
Yeah, we have done that. You know, that we have, we call them advocates. A lot of those people just speak on real life experiences and that peer-to-peer support, right? And there's, you know, I've done some peer-to-peer support through some schooling and things like that, just to make sure that I'm up to date. Like I want to make sure that we're doing the best we can. And you share that information with others. Most of our guys and gals have done some training that way too. So that helps too, but nobody has a degree. Nobody's a doctor. You know, it's just real world experience, what's worked for us and our life experiences. I'm an addict. I was a pill addict. bro. One wasn't enough and 100 wasn't too many. So dealing with that, when somebody says, "Oh, I'm an addict," you don't know what it's like. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Here's my story, right? And then you tell them, then you have that click, and next thing you know, then there's that bond, and then they just start opening up more. And once they learn they can talk and accept it, it's easy from there. It really is. It's not hard.
It definitely is. And besides the fact that you both wore a uniform, you both
Right.
served, that's one likeness, but now you both have this other thing.
Right.
Say, that dude can say, well, you don't know what well, he does know what I'm doing. I can't use that excuse no more. All right.
Right.
Let's hang out. Let's do something.
Yep. And that's one of our mottos, right? If you're struggling, let's talk. I mean, that's literally on our logo. Let's talk, right? Just have a simple conversation like we're doing here. Hold the door for somebody, say hello, smile at somebody. You just don't I promise you, everybody's carrying something, right?
Yes.
And if you can just give them that pause, that minute, that second to maybe even have a breath, you never know, man. You just never know.
You never know whose day you're going to make brighter, whose day you're
Right.
going to maybe save them that day just like you just said, look up and say hello.
Right.
Look up and smile, because that smile, that person might have been having the worst morning, worst afternoon of their life, and you smiled at them like, uh-oh, this person's
Right.
maybe I do mean something. Maybe I am worth it. Maybe I can get through whatever is in my mind right now. And you just say something without even knowing it.
Right.
It doesn't cost you anything.
No, it does not.
So that's an easy step. And actually, I wrote a book during COVID, 13-Step Guide to Success. It's not about making money, not about starting a business. It's about being a better person. And that's
Right.
1 steps. Look up 3 inches from your phone, smile at someone, or pet a dog.
Right.
I'm a big advocate for the dog first, then the people, but sometimes you get both of them.
Yeah, that's I'll segue a little bit here too, since you brought up dog. We did our first service dog program this year. We're working with Carson Brown. He's a young and upcoming driver. This kid can run the wheels off of anything. I mean, he drives everything. But at 17 years old, he saw SAVE22 and knew that he wanted to come in and help. So he funded, their family and Carson funded the first dog on their own.
Oh, wow.
They got all the sponsorships. They got all the money. They did it all. So they got our first lab, and we selected our first recipient this year as well. So they've been working together. Damien and Jared have been working together. So look for that on our socials. That'll be coming up here. You'll get to see all that happening, which is pretty cool. Yeah. I'm pretty excited about that because we're going to continue that on. And Carson signed with Richard Childress Racing. So he's a developmental driver. We'll see where it goes. Just an outstanding family and an even better kid. He really is. 17.
Is he's local to you guys?
He's up just east of Charlotte.
Okay. Yeah, so right in the hub of NASCAR.
He's right there. Yep.
That's outstanding. Yeah, with me and my brother, he hosts the Tuesday show. We're going to be working the NASCAR race in Nashville. We do it every year. So we go down there and we advocate for veterans, and I live stream so veterans can see the racetrack, see the pit crew, see everything there. So that's something we do to give back. So if he's going to be down there, I'll look for him down there as well.
He'll definitely be at Nashville. So I just don't know what level he'll be at, but I know he'll be there. But we can chat offline about all that.
Okay, awesome. That'd be good just to get a picture of him with his car for you and send it back there and say, hey, look, I found your brother.
Yep. Yeah, he's a good kid, man. He
17, God.
You wouldn't, yeah, he's, and there's a long story there, and that's his story to tell, but it just fits, man. It just fits.
And that's great hope for our country or for our young people that someone is doing great things like that.
Yeah.
There's got to be more than just him out there doing it, and we know there is.
There are. You just don't get to see it a whole lot, and I can tell 10 years of going to NASCAR races, 10 years of working with IHRA, NHRA, the way that NASCAR's treated us this year is just, I can't even begin to tell you how nice they've been. They didn't give us the world, but they gave us enough to be able to help, 30 to 40 vets this year, and if that's what we can build on and that's what we can do, and it doesn't cost us a dime, that's even better, and that's huge for them to step up like they did. So.
Great. I mean, they're a great organization. People hate them or because they're passed away. It was, I guess, because of the way NASCAR was portrayed. And
right.
if you go to a race now, it's probably the most diverse crowd you'll ever see at a race these days. Way more than ever.
The amount of backgrounds, ethnicities, females, males. I mean,
Yes.
it is insane. If you haven't been, give it another shot. I promise you'll be shocked.
If you think it's boring on TV, go to a live race.
Go to a live race.
You'll feel in your bones.
Right. And what's cool at NASCAR is they give us all access.
Yeah.
So we get down in the pits, we get to go to the driver introductions, the whole deal. We're backstage, you get to talk to all the drivers. So it's a lot of fun, man. It's cool.
Definitely is. If you get to Nashville, let me know. I'll hang out with you down there too as well.
Definitely will.
So for you guys, I know your nonprofit started in North Carolina. Are you nationwide now?
The nonprofit actually started in Ohio. I moved down to North Carolina this 17. So we have Ohio still going strong, and now we're down in Carolinas, North and South as well. But we have done events, Texas, California, Montana. We've been everywhere, honestly. So I don't know if that makes us national, but yes, we have traveled a lot for events.
You've been around.
We've been around. We have been around for sure.
You get around in a good way, not like the bad things.
Not the bathroom stall way, right?
Definitely not that way. Yes. See, that's where veteran talks go. They go down it.
I'll try to rein it back in now.
What has been the biggest struggle with SAVE22 as far as funding or getting things going?
Funding is always an issue. When I tell people what we operate on every year, they look at me and go, well, how are you doing that? Right. And one of our sayings in SAVE22, whatever you believe in, we can't preach, do political stuff. We can't do any of that. But, if we don't think there's something higher than us taking care of all of this, we always say, and then there's that, hey, we're $6,000 short. We can't go do this year. Next thing you know, we'll get an anonymous donation for $10,000.
Wow.
Right. And you're like, and then there's that. Right. And that's kind of our thing. And then there's that. Like, how are we going to get through this year on our $50,000 that we have budgeted? Right. Yeah. And then next thing you know, you got $75,000, you got a little surplus, and you're like, wow, that. And it's just fundraising, man. And the local community around Ohio and Myrtle Beach area, for specifically the car clubs, local people that just want to help, man. They just want to help, and $15 here, $20 here, $100 here at an event. All that stuff adds up. It does, and it adds up pretty quick. So luckily, we've been able to fund ourselves just through donations on our website, community events, people seeing us and just handing us literally a check. Golf, we do a golf outing in Ohio, and we do a golf outing in the Carolinas, both. So the golf outing in Ohio is one of our big ones. And then we do a hike every year as well. First Saturday in May, every year in Ohio, we do a hike. So those are our marquee fundraisers, is the hike and the golfing.
Okay. What's the distance for the hike?
It's about 2.5 miles, 2.3, 2.2 miles. It's close.
Okay.
And it's paved. It's an easy walk. It's not really a hike. We call it a hike, but it's a walk. We have people use strollers, wheelchairs, motor scooters. Like, it's accessible. It's easy, so we can include everybody.
That drives the numbers up, making it not a race and not like an ultra something or other or
no
type deal.
No. And every year we try to encourage people to walk with different people, right? Get outside of your clique, talk with somebody else, go hear their story, talk to them, see what they're doing. Every year I try to walk with somebody different as well, just because. Right. But I always end with a Vietnam vet day. Mr. Dave and I, we always hang out and wait for him to make sure he's good. So that's the one exception I'll make, is I finished with Mr. Dave. That's going to happen.
And you don't know how much longer we'll have Mr. Dave with us since Vietnam.
That's why I do it. That's why I do it. I love hearing those stories, man. And I will listen to the same story every year, and I don't care.
They usually have some good ones too. And
they do.
A lot of them held it in so long they don't want to talk about it. Now,
right,
to see it's okay to talk about their service in Vietnam, they open up pretty quickly, and it's some really good stories.
Yeah, my uncle was a Vietnam vet, and he hadn't talked about it for years. And in the past 3 to 4 years, he's really started opening up and chatting more. So I'm glad. He's went and got his VA benefits finally. He's doing the things finally. So that makes me happy that he's getting what he's earned. That's his.
And a lot of them didn't do that because they thought that they didn't deserve it, or they were told no when they got home, and they just took that
Right.
because their generation was that strong-minded that if someone says no, I just got to go and work to get whatever I need. And
Right.
they were told, I mean, some of them were told with missing limbs that they wasn't service connected, which is, that's insanity. But yes, they still went to do other work. And that's
right.
Generation, man. And because of them, we got everything we got as we came out. So
yeah, my grandpa was in World War II, and he flew in the gliders and built the first runways in the islands. I never knew it. He had 2 Bronze Stars. Never knew it.
Golly.
Never went to the VA. Nothing. And I just thought he was in the Air Corps, Army Air Corps, and built runways, and that was kind of it. Come to find out, when he passed, I kind of did a search through another organization that helps us out too. And that's kind of what they do, is track records for us. And I just ran my grandpa's stuff, and Brian came back and told me what was going on. I'm like, what? What?
Did I misspell something?
And he never went to the VA and never went, like, mind numbing, because that was that generation, right? You just come back and work. And that's what he did. He just worked forever and just dove into work.
Especially World War II, those guys were even harder. I mean, they came out of
he never. I can promise you, we lived on a farm. We worked in that garden almost every other day together. Worked in the wood shop with him. Never talked about it. The only thing he ever said when I came back from Desert Storm, he says, "How was it?" I said, "It wasn't that bad." I said, "Sure, there were some bad things that happened, but it wasn't awful." And I said, "Probably a lot easier than what you went through." And he goes, "Well, we got shot at. We'd jump off the dozers. We'd fire back to the firing stop and get back on the dozer and start working." And that's all he said. That was it.
That's it.
It was a lot more than that he did.
Yeah.
So, but it was just, that was his mentality, right? That was my job, to run that dozer and make the runway. So that's what I did.
I just did my job well. That's all I could do.
Yep.
Do my job well. And if Sergeant said I was doing good, I was good.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's that. I mean, that's the greatest generation right there, World War II. And then their kids were Vietnam. So that same mentality went right to them. And
right.
It shows in all the ones that are still with us, even the way they are now. I had a Vietnam veteran on last Sunday, and all he was worried about was helping other veterans. He's wanting to help other veterans. James Donzel is his name. Great man. And his main purpose is to help veterans. He doesn't even talk much about his service. He talks more about them. And I said, wow, that just shows me how they were compared to us.
And that's kind of like me. I'll talk about it a little bit, but listen, I served, I did what I did. I'm good with it. Like, now it's time to give back, right? Leave it better than you found it. That's kind of what my grandpa always said. Leave it better than you found it. So I kind of carry those words with me daily. It's kind of what I do.
At least try to leave it better than you found it.
Yeah.
As much as you possibly can.
Yep.
You couldn't leave Saudi Arabia better than you found it.
No. And yes, I agree. And I don't know if I wanted to spend any more time there to make it better. Sorry. It was time to go.
I did my months and months there looking at the sky.
Yep.
You're in LPOP. Yeah. So LPOP out there, and that's not a fun job.
No.
What service you're in. It's a lonely job.
It's lonely. It's quiet. It's nerve wracking. Every little flare, every little light you see, you just, man, you just don't know. You don't. And then you hear some of the places we were, you could hear like thumps and bangs, like sound like they were way out, like fireworks almost. And we called it in one night, and it was the Missouri. It's shooting across us inland. And we're like, all right, now we know what that is. Now we know what that noise is. So we're good with that noise now.
Thanks,
right?
Films.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Outstanding. So as you were growing up, you had service in your family, obviously. Is that why you went towards the Air Force, because your grandpa?
Yeah. So yeah, my dad was so my biological dad. I say dad a lot. That's my stepdad, but my biological dad, he he's passed, but he was Army Vietnam era, and he met my mom in Italy, and they got married in Italy. I was born in Italy. Was a military brat for a hot minute, ended up in Fort Huachuca. The drinking and young parents, and just didn't quite work out. So my mom and dad got divorced. I ended up in Carrollton, Ohio, which is just below Canton, Ohio, which is where the Football Hall of Fame is, just for reference. And as I was coming through school, I kept getting these letters from Italy saying that I was selected to go in the service, because in Italy, you have to go in the military. It's just, that's the way it is. And it was getting to the point, at 17, letters were getting a little more intense, right? So I decided I was going to become an American citizen, because I had dual citizenship up to that time. So I became an American citizen. And then at 17, right after that, I was like, you know what? There's no other way to give back. For one, this country allowing my mom and myself to come in, and I felt that the right thing to do was to repay the country that we came to, was to go in the military and serve. And I knew I didn't want to go Army, because I didn't want to follow my biological dad. I just didn't want to do that. Right. My cousin had talked about going in the Air Force. Like, yeah, maybe I'll do that. I knew I didn't want to go Navy, because I just didn't want to be stuck in a submarine. I just had a fear of being stuck in a can. I really did. Coast Guard, I just really didn't know too much about the Coast Guard. And I'm like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and go in the Air Force. So let's just try that one. And I did. And, I loved it, man. I loved my unit. I loved everybody in it. We were thick as thieves, man. We would lay down for each other if we needed to, if in front of a car, to stop it if we had to.
It's awesome. I'm sure you guys had to stop a bunch of cars, being SF guys. Security forces, not.
Yeah, there was a few.
Especially a few drunk airmen coming back to base or whatever.
Oh yeah. And we were so close to Nogales that a lot of Mexican drivers thought we were the border, and it happened a lot, man. It happened a lot in Tucson. That front gate was like, they thought it was the border. Wow. And it wasn't. And it made midnights interesting. I'll say that.
Outstanding. We got some questions from the audience pumped in while we were talking here. So we'll go with the first one here. This one is from @Give'emTheWay. Why do some veterans struggle to ask for help after service? Thank you, Give 'em the way.
I can tell you what we normally, it's a pride thing. Right? I can do this by myself. I've done it by myself. I've been told that, you suck it up. You don't show emotion. Ibuprofen, change your shocks, keep your feet dry, and keep moving. I mean, honestly, that's what we're told.
Yep.
The military does such a great job of deprogramming the feeling side of what you feel, to get you ready for combat, because that's our goal. No matter what branch you're in, you're training to protect this country. You're training to fight. That's what you're doing. You're not trained to have feelings. You're not trained to have a moment of relaxation, because in that moment of relaxation, that means lives are in risk. Lives are in danger. And when you get out, there's nothing. There's no help. When I got out, there was no talk of VA help, no talk of mental health, no talk of schooling, insurance, none of it, financial, nothing. There was nothing. And I've been told it's better now. I don't know how good, but that's one of the big things, is you've been programmed to do it all on your own and depend on just that team, and that's it. Well, that team's gone and it's just you. So who do you depend on now? I'm going to depend on me. I can do it. Watch this. And that's usually where the trouble starts, right? Because you can't figure it out. Then the drinking, and then it just starts spiraling, and it happens that quick.
Next thing you know, it's too late.
Right.
You're at the finish line before you want to be there. So
right.
That's a great answer to that question. The next one is from Come On Jim. I think it's Come on, Jim. Can one honest conversation truly save a life? Great question.
I promise you it can.
Yep.
I can pick up my phone right now and call that individual, and I will promise you he will tell you that conversation saved and changed his life. I can pick up the phone and call another friend right now that he will tell you a conversation saved his life with Jason Rutledge. That's the Marine that I talk about a lot. He called, he was had the gun in his hand. He was going to do it. And they rode together, and they called each other, and I'm on my way. Promise me you'll stay on the phone with me. Promise me I'll get there. Jason got there, and they had the conversation. And ever since that day, he doesn't drink anymore, doesn't do the drugs anymore. His actions are way different than they used to be, and he's just an upbeat guy.
That is awesome.
So yeah, conversations do work.
Outstanding. Come on, Jan. There was another one here. There it is, Susie Q. There we go. At Susie Q. What role does camaraderie play in healing trauma? Another good one.
That's another good one. And so I will tell you a good story about camaraderie and how it helps. We usually do some music festivals as well. I mentioned it earlier. One of those is Incarceration in Ohio. It's one of the biggest metal fests in the state of Ohio, and they do it at Mansfield Prison, where there was a film there, I can't remember, with Tom Hanks, The Green Mile, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Shawshank Redemption. There it is. Sorry. Yes, Shawshank. So we met. Give me a second.
It's all right.
One of the Mansfield Police Department individuals had a Purple Heart tattoo on his arm, and kind of had a Marine Corps globe and anchor, and then kind of like a desert scene. And Jason and I were together, and of course Jason's a Marine, I'm not. And Jason says, he goes, "Hey bro, what unit?" And as soon as he said it, Jason was like, "Man, you are Nazarea." And the guy was like, "Yeah." And come to find out, these two, Jason and this other individual, were literally probably 200 yards from each other.
Jesus.
During this time.
Wow.
So that bond was instant, right? I mean, it's just that quick. Next year we come back, that individual sees us. Now he's a sniper, so they're set up in the sniper positions, and he sends a text and he goes, and he's looking through his scope, right? And he goes, "I got you guys." And he showed us the scope where we were standing, and he was like, had it above us, like just letting us know that he was watching. So that's kind of cool. That's to the extreme of the camaraderie side of it. But
Yes.
that same weekend, about a week prior, maybe 2 weeks prior, we had an individual that committed suicide. And prior to that, she sang in the Mansfield Reformatory upstairs in the Rotunda. And if you ever get a chance to go there, I highly recommend it. And the acoustics are just incredible. And she sang Hallelujah.
Oh, wow.
A couple weeks before, and she ended up taking her own life. And Jason really wanted to get up there just to have his minute to put some closure to it. So we asked that police officer if he could help us make that happen. And he moved heaven and earth to make it happen, and literally walked us up there so Jason could have his minute to have his closure.
Wow.
So that's how that camaraderie just feeds in, Same thing, earlier when we were just talking, Rich, we don't even know each other, and we were just cutting it up with each other, right? It's an instant bond. It's almost expected, I think, that we mess with each other, to be honest.
You have to, yeah.
Right. So, the camaraderie is there. Finding like-minded people that won't judge, like-minded people that have been through similar struggles, right? And you just put those people together, and there's no secret sauce. It just happens. It does.
It definitely does. And I've seen it. When I got out in 2015, right when you guys were just starting, really, that's when I retired. And I kind of went through the ups and downs of transition, had a bad transition. It took me a year to find that job, land that job. So I was all up in my head for a while. And it took me getting outside of myself to get that help, and reaching out to organizations like Wounded Warrior Project, Hire Our Heroes, and Team Red, White, and Blue, Team Rubicon, to try to find those little niches to get out there and do stuff. And that's what helped me, just go into those, not the organization itself, the people that you meet at those things.
Right.
Your brothers and sisters you meet there. And like you said, you get there, and first thing you do is you size everyone up. You size them up. Okay. All right. Yeah. So you're a Marine, huh? Yeah. Okay. God bless you. But same thing. And you start joking about each other, and then you learn about each other. You joke first and learn, and then you become brothers or sisters. And like you said earlier, you start those little those chat groups and things. At first, it was all Facebook groups. Now it's all WhatsApp groups that you just wind up with all these contacts where you can just reach out literally across this country and talk to someone. I know this one guy, he does these things with widgets. Let me talk to him, and you can get them on the line. And that's the amazing thing of the veteran sphere. The first responders too, they can smell each other out when they go out in public. They know someone's a police officer or they're a fire department or EMS. They know what they do. They know the right words to say to each other, and they can feel it when they're in the room. So I think it's all one big bond of family.
It is. It is.
Next one is from, I think it says Trust Verify. How can communities better support veterans and first responders? Good question. Trust Verify.
That's a little tougher one.
Yeah.
You know, for us, it's when we're in an event, when we're doing this, you know, we give our speech, we tell what we're about, and everybody's all excited. Yeah, we want to help. We want to help. We'll do this. We'll do this. We'll do this. And it seems like you turn your back to walk away, and then you never hear anything ever again.
Yep.
My advice would be, if you truly want to help, make sure you stay engaged with that organization, whatever organization it is. Doesn't matter who it is, right? Could be Marine Corps League, could be SAVE22, could be Misfit Nation, could be Wounded Warrior, whoever, right? You have to stay engaged, and you have to show that you want to help, right? Because it's for me personally, I'm so, and this is kind of bad, I get so focused on pushing SAVE22. Where can we go? Where can we go? Where can we go? That I don't look at the community side of it, like people saying they want to help. Hey, here's my card. Get a hold of me. We'll get something going, right? And you don't just hear from those people. So make sure you follow up. Make sure you keep engaged. That would be the biggest way to support, honestly. And just listen. Just listen. If you ask somebody how they're doing, be ready for the conversation. Don't ask them how they're doing if you don't have a minute, right? Because you just don't know where it's going to go.
Definitely. When you ask a question, you got to listen to the answer. Don't already have your second question going.
Right.
Don't think about what you're going to say next. Think about what they're saying and let that soak, and just kind of take that pause, that audible pause. Take a breath after you finish your sentence, and then say something, because then they know that you're listening to them. For one, that makes them feel like they're actually valued in a conversation. And then, like what you were saying, the people handing you cards, you get that hyper focus on SAVE22. Sometimes that card, you forget why you have it.
Right.
Because you were so focused on SAVE22, you might not know when did I meet Rex? I don't know.
Right. So like for me, I have multiple TBIs as well. So it's a joy. It's like 10-second Tom every day. You know, I joke about it a lot. My kids say, "Hey Dad, you're glitching," because sometimes I'll talk and I'm like, "Oh, what was I saying?" Right. And I get like that. So I've done a lot better by taking a pen now, and I kind of write on the card, like
Nice.
kind of what we talked about. So then I go home and I immediately try to do those emails. But you know, for me, it's a structure thing for me. I have to keep structure like that, or I will just not even remember. So, and it's not an excuse. It's just my DNA. That's where I'm at, and I understand it. And I jot a lot of notes down now.
I have little note cards everywhere here. So even with the this typing device in front of me, I still have note cards.
Right.
I'm gonna forget things as I go through this, because I as well have TBIs, thanks to Uncle Sugar and the many trips he let me go on. But thank you.
Right.
Very nice.
You know, and that's another thing, just real quick about the TBIs too. They affect so much with individuals that, you know, if you know somebody that's struggling with the TBI, honestly, encourage them to go get that help, right? If they don't want to go get it, check out Shepherd's Men, the Shepherd's Institute, Marcus Institute for Brain Health. All those are phenomenal facilities. I went to Marcus Institute in Colorado. They were phenomenal. So just be aware that there are organizations and people out there that will help, and there's no cost to the vet. There's not. So
there's definitely plenty of help out there, plenty of agencies out there that will help you with all these,
sir.
all the little
Yes, sir.
we acquired along the time through taking Motrin and changing our socks and drinking water. And moving forward.
Right.
All right. Our next one is from Kept Husband. What leadership lessons matter most outside of the military?
For me, this is me. I've learned that I can be selfish for me, and that's okay. I'm allowed to do things for me, because if I'm not doing what I need to do, for me, I don't have the right to tell Rich, like, hey, bro, you need to go do that.
Right.
If I'm not doing it, I don't have the right to tell him, right? If I'm not working on myself, then I shouldn't be preaching to others to go do that. That's one of the biggest things for me. I wouldn't put somebody in a position that I haven't done or I haven't tried, right? I wouldn't do that. And then I'd say the second biggest thing, again, listening. You have to listen.
Outstanding. All right, we'll take one last question from the audience here. It's from Under the Skin. What does service beyond the uniform mean to you? Some good names tonight. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Yeah. And again, for me, service beyond the uniform is exactly what Rich and I are talking about, doing these things, these simple conversations. And you know what? If one person listens and one person gets something out of it and one person does something different than they were normally doing and change their life and change and challenge themselves, you've won. We've won, Rich. We've won, right? If you get one.
Exactly it. You know, we like to say here, reach one, teach one. And if
Yep.
this is episode 648 of the Misfit Nation, and if for 648 episodes we reached one person, that's 648 veterans or first responders that we may or may not have helped. And that means a lot more to me than just 8,000 downloads or whatever like that. Downloads mean they're great, they're wonderful, but if we're not helping people, it doesn't matter. If we help one person per episode, our conversation tonight might have helped 4 or 5 people. That's a home run. That's a grand slam for us. That's awesome.
Yep. And that's kind of our thing. Josh Link, he's another Army guy that's involved with us. He does all our IT and he's our VP of business development, but he's got a saying, just one more. That's his thing. Just one more, whatever that just one more is for you. If it's just one more walk, just one more day, one more minute, one more phone call with a buddy, whatever it is, man, plan that. Challenge yourself every day to do that. Just one more, whatever it is. It's just one more. Right?
Yeah.
Just one more step, one more walk, one more minute, one more hour, whatever it is. Push yourself.
Just keep going. Keep going forward.
Keep going.
Outstanding. Well, Albert, this is 52 minutes have flown by. We've been chatting like old school girls here. This is good.
Right.
We talk about SAVE22 a lot. Right on your website, it says struggling. Let's talk. That's amazing. I'm going to pop that up here in a second. What's the best way for people to help SAVE22 or even to find out more about you?
The website is the perfect place to go, save22.vet. We've updated it. We're working on it as we're going through. There's a bunch of AI on the backside that all the tech guys know about. I do not. I will not plan to try to even say I do, but everything's pretty much there on the website. You can kind of see our story, see what we do. You know, of course, the donate links there, all those good things, and kind of talks about, you know, how we assist with, you know, shield, assist, volunteer, and educate, right?
Nice.
So shield, you want to get that person, you want to make sure they're good, you want to take care of them. The assess, you know, what do we need to do? Where do we need to go? The volunteer is, you know, taking time out to make sure that those individuals are getting the service they need. And then the education part is kind of what we're doing here tonight, right? Just talking about it. That's it. It's just that simple, man. Just having a simple conversation. And if you want to get a hold of it, it's info@save22.vet. It's that easy.
That is simple. It's almost as good as ours. info@themisfitnation.com. It takes all the spelling out of it for you. It's awesome.
It does. It does. And that's a direct line in. You can drop a message there. We check that daily through the day. So, you know, there's always things to do. If you want to set up an event for yourself for SAVE22, we can help you do that too. It's easy. And then you see some of our partners there that we work with. Goat Locker Racing. They are a phenomenal resource. They do iRacing. So, you know, if anybody's into iRacing, check that out. Check out Goat Locker. They're an amazing group as well. And it'll show some of our upcoming events and things we've done before. Kind of gives their bio, you know, how we started and things like that. So it's all there.
Nice. And you got everything on here. Great website. Make sure you check it out at save22.vet. It's very, very simple, very easy to get to. And it's been shared throughout the show. It's in the show notes as well. Make sure you check it out.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Albert, now the hard question. This one is the hardest one for you tonight, probably. What's 3 things the Misfit Nation, our audience, can start doing tomorrow to be better people?
I think we've kind of highlighted them, man. This is an easy question for me, honestly.
All right.
You know, say hello to somebody. I challenge you. I challenge you tomorrow to hold the door for one person and say hello to somebody. That's one. Listen.
Ooh.
Listen for the whispers, right? The screams are easy to hear. Listen for the whispers. Listen for those things that people are talking to you privately about that are close to you. What are they really talking about? And again, that goes in with the listening, right? And then I would say, I hate you right now. For me, it's making sure to take time for my family.
Nice.
Right. Those are my 3 big ones.
That's a good one right there at the end.
And if you can do those 3 things every day, and you can find a way to balance that every day and take care of yourself, that's a pretty damn good day.
Yes, it is. And taking care of you is as important as taking care of others. You can't take care of others if you're not well. So make sure take care of you and your family. That way you have that bandwidth to help others at the end of the day.
Yep. And I love that word too, that bandwidth, because again, you know, you give so much that what it takes for you to operate on a day because of TBIs and pain takes so much of that bandwidth. You have so much left at the end of the night. And if you just keep things simple, for me, I've got to do those things every day because I know that if I don't, my whole day's a mess. It just is.
And that's awesome 3 things right there. Albert, again, thank you for taking some of your time away from your family to hang out with us tonight. And on a Sunday night.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure, man,
awesome
honestly.
Chat. Anytime you want to come back on and give us highlights or even just share what you guys have accomplished in over the last whatever months, just give us a call. We'll bring you on, even if it's just to have a quick update and then let you get back to your day.
I appreciate it, man. I really do.
Thank you. Misfit Nation, as me and Albert have talked about all night, if you're feeling the darkness caving in, do not go it alone. Call 988. If you don't want to do that, go in your wallet. I told you many times, write 3 names on a piece of paper in your wallet. Call those 3 people. They want to hear from you because tomorrow will be 100% better with you in it than it will without. And if all that doesn't work, contact us here at the Misfit Nation. info@themisfitnation.com, jake@themisfitnation.com, or steven@themisfitnation.com. One of us will get you and we'll take care of you and make sure you have everything you need in your local area to make sure you're okay and you're better the next day with us. Until next time, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling. Have a great night, Misfit Nation.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.